Hello everyone, it's me, Inki, and welcome to my third Unity tutorial on how to animate in 2D. In my previous video, I showed you how to animate in a similar style to Flash animation. Now with the animations made in that tutorial, plus a few more, we'll be learning how to use the Animator window, how to transition between animations, and how to interact with the Animator using code. If you haven't watched the previous tutorials before this one, consider watching them before we proceed with this tutorial. A link will be provided in the description, and if I can find a way to show it in the screen, then of course. If you already did, make sure you have the project open, and we'll begin. So first off, I'm gonna show the animations I have to demonstrate and use for this tutorial. So I'm just going to go to animation, and here they are. I have an idle animation. This is a huge change from the previous tutorial. I decided to take some time to make the animations more fluent and more natural. There's the run animation. And also there are a couple of other ones, like for example, these ones are really short, but they're gonna serve sometime later in the tutorial, and you'll see why. There you go. Okay, so now let's go to the Animator window. Well, first off, let me just pause this. We're going to go to the Animator window, and when you go to the Animator window, there'll be all the animations I have are placed on the screen as states. Alright, the animations are there, but when you play the game, you can see that the Animator only plays the idle animation of the character. That's because the idle state is connected to the entry state. It's the only animation it's gonna play no matter what, or at least for now. If we want to make the character change its animation, we need to set transitions in the Animator to do so. Okay, gonna click this here. I'll demonstrate by only using the idle and run animations, which I'll be placing close to here. As so, we're just gonna move these out of view just for a few minutes. Now what you gotta do is right click on the first animation, and you're gonna select make transition. You see that there is an arrowed line that follows the mouse. This transition line, you're gonna drag it to the state you want to add to. You want to place it to. In this instance, we're gonna move it to run. Now click, and it'll set itself on the state. Now just test the game, and you'll see that the character just transitioned from the idle to the run animation after the idle animation finished, but now it just stays running. Now the next thing that you're going to do is right click on the run animation and create another transition that will go straight to the idle animation. Now test it again. And you notice that the animations transition in a loop. Like it idles, and once the idle animation is done, it transitions to the run animation, and once the run animation is done, it transitions to the idle animation, and it just keeps looping. Now if you want to add a bit more of a natural flow to the animations, even though the Animator already provides a smooth transition between animations, you can animate some build-ups for each transition, like I showed in the earlier from this video. First, delete the transitions, like so. Just click on them and delete. Now we're just gonna zoom out and get these two into view. Okay. Now you're gonna make a transition from idle to run buildup. Now you're gonna make another transition from run buildup to run. Okay. And that, now you just play the animation. I mean, just test the game. Sorry about that. And you see that the character switches from the idle to the build-up to the run animation in that same order. It's kind of hard to notice because it's pretty quick. I'm gonna play it again just to demonstrate. There you go. But as you can see, like, once again, it just stays in there. So if you want the character to return back to idle animation, you pretty much do the same thing. Make another transition to run stop, and from run stop, make another transition back to fire idle. Now you test. Oof, that's a bad one. The loop is complete, however, the loop transitions so fast that it doesn't stay in a state. They remain constantly looping. In order to change that, you'll need to create parameters and set transitions. Let's get out of here. Now to create a parameter, go to the parameters tab in the animation window, which is right here, and create a new parameter by clicking this plus button. You can choose between three variables. Crap. You have the integer, you have the integer, float, boolean, and trigger parameters. For this tutorial, we're going to go with the boolean, and we're going to call it is running. All right. There's the parameter set. Now that the parameter has been created, you have to set the conditions to their respective transitions, which are these two. What you're gonna do first is to click on the transition of idle to run buildup, and you're gonna scroll all the way down here, and you can see there's a tab that says conditions. You're gonna click on the plus to add a condition. It's already automatically set to running, but if you have more than just one parameter, you can just click here, and there's going to be a drop-down menu that shows your other parameters. For this one, you're going to set the condition to true. That way, when the is running parameter is set to true, it'll automatically move to run buildup. Run windup, and since this one doesn't have any conditions, it'll automatically move to fire run. Now you're gonna click on this one, and you're pretty much gonna do the same thing. You're gonna add another condition, only that this time you're gonna set it to false. That way, when this boolean becomes false, it'll transition to fire stop, and once this animation is done, it'll automatically move to idle. Just a little important note: make sure that at least in these two transitions, you have the exit time off, because it'll wait for the animation to end. When exit time is turned on, it'll wait for the animation to end before it transitions. So once it's turned off, once the parameter changes, it'll immediately change the animation. Now you just test it out. You have the parameters already set, and the conditions have been placed. just test it out. Before you do, I should click on, make sure that the maximize on play is turned off, just so you can access the animator while the game runs. Just click on it. There you go. You notice that it's there, but once you turn is running to true, it'll run, and when you turn it to false, boom. And there you have it. There's a bit of a glitch with the run stop for some reason, but you guys get the idea. Yes? Good. Good. All right. Let's continue. Let's continue this baby. Now you have the parameters and conditions set. It's sort of ready, but you have to make each parameter react to different commands you assign to. Like, for example, you want the character to move or to do the run animation when you click on when you press a button or a key or an access for the character to move and do the run animation. That's something you're gonna have to do through code. To do this, you're first gonna go to the project. Thank you. I already have. Wait, no, I haven't. If you haven't done this, create a folder called scripts. Always keep your project organized. Otherwise, it's going to be one big of a mess. And you're going to create a C# script, and I'm going to call this one player anim. There you go. Let it compile for a few seconds, and once that is done, please mono develop. Thank you. You're gonna open the script in mono develop. Okay. Once the script is open, you're gonna start off by creating an animator variable right over here. You're gonna create a public animator variable, and you can call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it anim, just to make things simple. All right, and now you call the component through a line. I'm gonna put in update. You're gonna call the variable, which is called anim, and you're gonna use the function get component, and you're gonna get animator. Don't forget the parentheses at the end. This will make sure that the variable you want to access is the component in the object the script is assigned to. Now you're gonna create a Boolean variable, which I'm gonna also call is running. Like bool is running, and we're automatically gonna set this to false. All right. There's the Boolean, and now we code a command that will manipulate this Boolean. Let's make it by using an input function. Give it a minute. How about use if? You're gonna set a condition actually. You're gonna set a condition, and you're gonna name it input, not acceleration. Sometimes I do that. I'm very sorry. Get key down, and you're gonna get let's set it to the D key, and you're gonna close it. And in here, you're gonna type in the boolean is running, and you're gonna set it to true. Now, else is running equal to false. Actually, to make sure it works, I'm gonna say else if input dot get key up, and it's the same key, D, and there you go. All right. What this will do is that when I press the D key, the boolean will be true, but when I release it, it'll turn false. Now, to call on the animator and to change the parameter using the code, you're gonna call on the animator and use the setBool function. I'm gonna do this, and then dot set bool, and in the first parameter, you're gonna set in the first variable, you're gonna set the parameter you named in the editor. Make sure it's named in the exact same way as you did in the editor. Otherwise, it won't detect it. So mine is called is running, and the variable, which is also called is running. There you go. All right. Now just save the script. All right. Fantastic. All right. Now what you'll do is just go back to the editor and wait for the engine to compile the script. Now you're gonna go place this script on black fire. Where the animator is. Now you're gonna play test. Now you're gonna play test this baby. Make sure that maximize on play is turned off. And now you click. There. It's now idle, but when you set the isRunning variable to true, now it runs. You set it to false, it stops. Now I'm gonna press the D key. Well then, I think I made a mistake. Crap. I fucked up already. Let's edit this to left and left. Get key down, get key up, save, let it compile. And there you go. Sorry about that, folks. I may have done a bit of a mistake there, but now you know. I press the left key, and she runs. But when I release it, she becomes idle again. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I apologize for a few mistakes I might have left in this video. Unfortunately, I should leave them in because otherwise some parts of the video won't make sense. This is only explained in a simple manner, but you can pretty much branch it out from here. You can make different transitions to different parameters, and you can pretty much do set the animations to anything, like jumping to falling and so on. With this in mind, this is the end of the tutorial series on how to make 2D animations in Unity. Well, at least the general use for games. I might touch further into animation and even show you guys more complex animation, as well as a few tricks I know that you can use too in your own projects. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope it helped you clear some doubts. If you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. I thank these people who support my work through their pledges on Patreon. And with that said, have fun making and have a good one.